Love is patient. Love is kind. Love protects. Love always trusts. Love always hopes. Love never fails. Amazing love.
Welcome, Christ TV viewers. I welcome you to yet another special edition of the program Amazing Love. Charitable works cannot be proclaimed by word of mouth, but deeds speak for themselves. In this program, we continue to explore the charitable work being carried out by Prophetess Ruth Makandiwa through Agape Family Care, a charity arm of the UFIC. Today with us, to bear witness and testimony of that amazing love of the Prophetess, we have a couple with us in the studio. Welcome to the program. Can you introduce yourselves to the viewers?
We are Mr. and Mrs. Mushunje from Chitungisa. We stay in Chitungisa, Unit K, and our rural home is Wedza.
Wonderful. Mama, can you tell us about your family?
We have 4 kids. We married in 2008. We have 4 boys.
Wow. 4 boys, that's a real can you give us a brief background about your marriage?
Well, when we married in 2008, things were so smooth, everything was fine. But later in the marriage, we started fighting. We had a lot of misunderstandings. We used to quarrel almost every day. We used to fight to the extent that neighbors knew the kind of lifestyle we're living. We used to fight a lot. A day could hardly pass without fighting. We had a lot of misunderstandings and quarrels in our home.
What were the misunderstandings about?
A misunderstanding would just start from a small thing. He could just ask me, where have you put my socks? I could just answer him in harsh words. Then we start fighting. I could ask him some things in a nice way, and he could answer in such a harsh way. So we used to fight a lot. We had so many quarrels, and those quarrels would start from nothing, from nowhere. We were not even enjoying the marriage. We were just staying, but marriage, we were not even enjoying anything about marriage. So that's how a marriage was.
Can you explain further some of the problems or some of the factors that were pushing you to have arguments within the marriage?
The things which contributed us to have quarrels in our marriage are so many. But to mention a few, it's just my wife was just boring me every second, which I just say. So that I started drinking beer. I was drinking little beer, those strong stuff, so that I would avoid arguments with the woman. To such an extent that I become a drunkard. I was now drinking strong stuff only. I was drinking like a fish. So that whenever I get home, I would get there very drunk, and the only thing which I could do when I reach home is to sleep and avoid speaking to my wife. Everything which she was doing to me was wrong. Even asking me how was the day to me, she was mocking me. Everything was boring throughout until we decided to go to the church. But when we were going there also, I quitted. I said I cannot continue going to the church once the things are becoming too tough like this one. Why should I? The prophet is not even seeing us. He's seeing other people, but he's failing to locate us. Whereas yesterday we were holding knives, we wanted to kill each other. It's true. Holding knives, wanted to kill each other. Yeah, things were happening like that, yes.
So you started drinking as a way of escaping the arguments that you were having with your wife, but did that help? Did it get better that you'd come home drunk and you just sleep?
It started to give me problems mentally and physically. Mentally, I developed a sense of forgetfulness because otherwise, besides drinking those the beer, I was also taking strong drugs so that I won't even think anything. So I started to develop a forgetful sense. Also, I developed stomach problems. It didn't help me in any way. That was if you drink, you forget problems the very moment you are drunk. But when it comes tomorrow morning, they will be all fresh, the problems, start to think them again. So when they come too much in my head, I would start drinking beer. You can ask guests to start drinking beer as early as 7 o'clock a.m.
Oh,
Yes.
that must have been tough. Mama, what were you going through at that time? What were you thinking? Did you want to stay in the marriage anymore? What were your thoughts when your husband was now drinking as a way of escaping the problems that you had?
I had lost all hope. I had no hope in marriage. When I looked at my kids, at times they'll be crying, Mama, we are hungry. And when I tell my husband, kids are hungry, he would just sleep. So it was very tough. Things were so hard in that marriage.
So what was the turning point of all these problems?
It so happened that one day when I went to church, it was a Tuesday service. I just went there just for the sake of going to church. But I didn't know that that's when God had my answer. When I got to church on that Tuesday, it was a prophetic service. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa was prophesying to people. And I was seated on base 6. But I was just saying, people were praying that day. People were praying. I was seated watching people as if I didn't know what they were doing. I just said, how can people pray in such a way? And how can I even pray in such a way when I've left such a situation at home? Kids are crying. There's no poverty was so much in my home. My husband was just something else in my life. So I was just seated. I was saying, what can I say to God? Let me just watch what is happening. And Prophet Makandiwa, when I was just seated, I was just saying, God, you have to do something about it. I'm not going to pray. When Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa said, I hear Mushunji, that's when I ran from that bay, going to where the man of God was. That's where things started to turn around in my life. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa gave me a prophecy. And he told me that I see misunderstandings in your marriage. And I said, it's true, man of God, because there were so many misunderstandings in my home. And he told me that the ex-wife to my husband took my name and went with my name to a spiritualist. And they put a case on my name. That's where all the misunderstandings were coming from. Then Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa said he wanted to meet my husband and pray for us so that he can break that case on our family. Then I went home. My husband was very happy. Actually, before I reached home, people started calling him, telling him, your wife is receiving a prophecy from the man of God. So he thought it was a joke. When I got home, he was happy. I saw love coming back in our home. He said, is it true that man of God is prophesied to you? I said, yes, it's true. That's the very day I started experiencing real love in my marriage. And Prophet Makandiwa said he wanted to meet my husband. So we then went to church on that Sunday, the following Sunday. That's when we met the man of God. And the man of God prayed for us. And he even broke that spirit of being a drunkard.
Wow, that is amazing. That all started to change because of a prophetic word.
Yes, that very day I started seeing a change. The day he prophesied to me.
Wow, that is amazing. Viewers, please do stay with us. We'll come back with yet another segment where we'll go deeper into what happened after they heard from the men of God.
Amazing love.